Nakamori Seicha made Ise Bocha from Mie. Ise being the old province name, and so you have the Bay of Ise between Aichi Prefecture and Mie. So, Bocha again will be a stem tea, should be a stem tea. It's pretty smoggy, hazy outside from wildfires in the northern US. I was thinking last night why that sencha I had wasn't so aromatic. It's possible that was the reason. It's possible that the air quality is hindering my perception of all these teas. So I'm gonna save a bag of each one to do a better tasting later on. So compared to the other bocha that we had, which I think was from Saga or Nagasaki, this one has about 50%, no, maybe 60% stem and 40% leaf. It's either that or 50-50. I would say maybe 40-60 though. They're very homogeneous in the size. There's not really much that's broken, and the colors are quite a light brown. What color brown would that be? Well, maybe it's craft fit, same. Virtually the same color brown as these paper sachet tetra things, craft paper bags. And then the other one is yeah, it's a dark green, but it has a brownish tinge to it. Well, obviously it has been roasted. It is in the realm of hojicha. When I do hojicha, usually it's like this. So yeah, compared to the other roasted teas that have been in the set so far, this is roasted lighter. So it's not as intensely like burned smelling. The sweetness is nice. I would say sweet and salty, dry, probably with the salt, spicy, something in the chocolate zone. Like salted cocoa, salted chocolate. And that is salted to the point where it's not like a little bit of salt changes the perception of the chocolate. It's more or less equal to the chocolate. So it's kind of adding the right amount of salt to fight for power. So that would have to be used very sparingly as a garnish, as a sauce, drizzle, or something like that. There's There's a bit of a wafer thing going on with like a dark baked cake. Or like a dark baked spongy cookie. So it averages like between maybe 1 centimeter, and the larger ones can be maybe 3 centimeters. But that's quite an outlier. It's like 1.5 to 2 centimeters, I think, is the average length. Well, let's add it to this. Grab the water. Alexa, start a timer for 2 minutes.
Starting now.
This currently smells saltier and oilier than before. I think it's kind of like focaccia. So Italian style of bread, very spicy with oregano and herbs and things like that. A lot of oil as well. A lot of salt. It's very flavorful. And a focaccia that was baked with a pretty dark crust on it. Yeah, I would even say that and it's just maybe because it's pretty common to find it in there as a flavor, but black olive, could be a flavor note, which I smell too. I think I do. Yeah, really savory, really brown, with these dark green and black notes. Alexa, stop. Okay. Pretty orange. Pale. Could be in the spectrum of beer for like what a modern craft New England Pale Ale is like. But in any case, I might go with a simpler, I would call it maybe honey brown, closer to orange. Surprisingly, took a pretty big shift away from the focaccia notes. Now it smells like dough. yeasty in a sense that it's still rising. It hasn't been baked yet. Like, wow, it's very distinctly yeasty and doughy. There is a bready baked quality to it, but that's more like breadsticks where there's no dough left. It's all powdery, hard. Interesting to have that whole definitely unbaked and then definitely baked to the maximum thing going on together at the same time. Now I think I'm nose blind to that, so that's kind of gone. There's something else, but it's pretty hard to grasp. Okay. Let's just describe it then. Let's just describe it and then says nothing. Where do you start? I guess it's in the yeasty doughy zone, but it's not dough. Maybe it's like it starts out the same way. Oh, okay. I think it's quite related. It's in Canada and presumably in the US as well, but surely not very often in Europe or elsewhere. We have a style of pizza that we do where the crust is very thick and very chewy. And I think, well, every place in the world has Pizza Hut now. It's like Pizza Hut's crust. Yeah, that's probably a good way to put it. It's like Pizza Hut's oily, doughy crust, where it's, yeah, of course, it's quite brown and full of baked flavor on the outside, but when you get in the middle, it's like a nice, chewy bread. Yeah, I think that's good. So this has the same issue that when I make my own hojicha that I fall into. And it's the same when I make my own. So I've done some tests lately with roasting rice to make my own genmaicha. And it seems like no matter how deeply I roast the rice, there's a flavor, like for example in the genmaicha from Nara, pretty sure it was Nara, that I just can't get that. And that might be due to the type of rice. There might be some secret in the roasting process, for example, roasting with oil, where I'm just dry roasting, nothing is added. That could very well be it. The roasted flavor is there, but it's so subtle. And there's an overall, I don't know if I would say it's staleness, but it's something related to that. It's kind of like the flavor is not activated. has a nice oily mouthfeel, but it's a very subtle, delicate flavor. There's not really a finish, and other than the oiliness, well, I can't really say that. You can't take the oiliness away. So, aromatically and concentration-wise, I'll give the aroma a 4, and the concentration a 3, and astringency I might give it a 1. There's something there. Finish is a 3, and the weight is a 5. So there's some unbalanced quality to it. Again, the concentration doesn't really match the flavor. That whole side of the tea doesn't really match the weight. The finish is low. I don't see how this is going to improve drastically. I think like maybe I could get a better balance by steeping longer or shorter even. If I did shorter, maybe the weight would come down, and there's a chance that the intensity of the flavor stays similar. I don't think it would get worse than this. That's the thing. It's really simple, and for that I would say it's not a showstopper. Okay, I wouldn't buy it. It tastes like something I could make, so that's very self-critical because I don't really think I'm good at making stuff. Yeah, it's something that I'm trying to improve on, but really it does seem like if someone gave me the very same tea, the stems, just unroasted, and I tried to roast it myself, I feel like that's what I would get. And if I was buying tea, I would hope that they're able to surpass my skill level in terms of producing something, if that makes sense. Okay, last thing. We're kind of back to the briny, salty, baked bread, oily focaccia crust, deep baked aroma. If this flavor could be in there, it would surely be a very valuable tea for the world. And there's a chance that I just don't know what's going on. I think I had the same problem with the hojicha. So I'll keep my other bag for the event and see if I can't learn something really valuable about brewing these stem teas. But I think that's all for now. Off to work I go. Have a nice day, everyone.